here with the very famous Lou Ferrigno, who played the Hulk on the TV show. He's been on a ton of other things as well. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Burke Family 54 Comics. I wanted to ask you first off and foremost about your time as a Hulk on a TV show. What were some of your favorite highlights, and how is it playing such an iconic Marvel character?
Well, my favorite part of the show, playing the character. My least favorite part was the makeup. The makeup was horrific. I had to be made up like 3.5 hours, and I had to sustain that makeup like 12 to 14 hours a day. One time I was filming like the second season, someone knocked on the door, and a man comes in. He said, "My name is Cary Grant, you know, the famous movie actor." He said, "Can I take a picture?" I couldn't speak because I was so mesmerized seeing him. That's one of the highlights of the show.
Wow, wow. And so obviously you were very in shape, man. How much did you have to work out to be such an incredible Hulk on the TV show?
Well, I've been training now for 57 years. Even now I train maybe an hour a day to maintain what I have. But years ago I trained 3 or 4 hours a day when I was in competition.
Wow, that's awesome. I wanted to ask you, are you an avid comic book collector, or did you read a lot of Marvel or Hulk before playing the role or after, or do you still collect comic books at all, basically?
I was a huge comic book fan before I played the Hulk when I was a kid. I should have stayed there for the original comic because I could have bought this building by now. I traded all the Hulk and Superman comics when I was young for Muscle magazine because I love bodybuilding. Wow. But I religiously, day and night, I would read Hulk and Superman comics. I was very attracted to the power.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. I wanted to ask you your thoughts on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, how they portrayed the Hulk in it. Have you been watching the movies, and what are your thoughts on the whole MCU?
I'm very disappointed because I didn't like the way the CGI gets portrayed, like Ruffalo, a wonderful actor, but I didn't like the way the Hulk being portrayed because he needs to be hideous, he needs to be, could be mean, authentic, but not the way they played it. I think they have to go back to the original concept.
I agree with that, 100%. I wasn't a huge fan of the way they made him in Endgame whatsoever. I also wanted to ask you about your time on King of Queens. That was one of my favorite shows. When I was a young kid, I used to always watch it at nighttime with my parents. How was it being on that show, and with it being a comedy versus such a serious show with the Hulk? How did you like being on King of Queens with Kevin James?
Well, when you do comedy, it's very hard because you have to do a read-through for the network, and then they only have 2 takes. But I had the opportunity to work with iconic actors like Jerry Stiller, Kevin James, and Lee Remini. I've learned so much because you're in front of a live audience. And you get that instant gratification because you appreciate people laughing at the scenes you're performing as a comedian.
Cool. So I just want to say thank you so much for being on my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for coming to Planet Comicon.
Thank you.
It was awesome getting to meet you and know you, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.